What's up, Omaha? Yeah. Give it up for Patrick. How funny is he? That's the homie. Yeah. I've been in town 30 minutes, and I already feel like a huge puss. Those tornado alarms went off. And you guys just reacted like mannequins at JCPenney's. Frank and I are in the back like, so where are the stairwells? God, you guys are cool as ice. All right. I had a homeboy, he told me, you should tell the audience how old you are before you start the show so your jokes make sense. I'm 47. Yes. No. Black don't crack. I'll take it, but it weathers, though. It's going down up here. I got 3 kids. It's weird. I don't know how many parents have had this issue. I had to sit down with my 15-year-old 3 weeks ago. We had a chit-chat that some parents in this room understand. It's the conversation when you can no longer do your kids' homework. It's almost so sad it's not a topic for comedy because it's just you and your kid that used to admire you and just a D+ sitting on the table that you contributed to. It's the worst feel, because, math, I'm all done. I feel like unless you do math for your job right now, there's like, you not only remember the grade that you checked out on math, but the exact part. Like for me, it was when they started multiplying fractions. I was out. The teacher was like, you flipped the denominator and now you just solved it. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And she was like, you're so close, flip it and finish it. I'm like, I won't, and I never did. And my life has been amazing. Smash cut to 3 weeks ago, my son is just showing me, it's the kind of math that's got the letters in it and the parentheses, like it's being sarcastic or something. I'm looking at my youngest son, he's 11, he's on the spectrum. I'm like, hey, I saw the movie, get a marker and find a window and solve this. Earn your keep, homie. Omaha didn't like the first autism joke, huh? I get it, unless you love somebody or you live with somebody that's on the spectrum, you don't realize. Because it comes from a good place. People are like, oh, what's that like? I'm like, what's that like? My son lives, I'm so jealous of him. Like, my son doesn't talk about or engage in anything he's not innately interested in. Think about that. So like tomorrow, we all got to go to work and ask somebody we don't like that much what they're doing this weekend. Even though you don't care. You know how we all have to do that because we're frauds? My son will never do that. My son would never ask a question he doesn't care what the answer is. It's amazing. He just says whatever he wants. I'm so jealous. We were at a Target in California at a water park. We went to a Target and there was a guy in front of us and he was bitching about how expensive their 16-year-old's car was to his wife. There's one group of people in front of us and he's just going on and he's like, I don't know why a 16-year-old needs a $20,000 car. When I was 16, I had a $20,000 car. And I looked at my son, I could tell this guy's voice was starting to pierce my son Ford's peaceful universe. And I was like, you better pipe down, buddy. And he kept going on. He's like, that's your son. If you want to have a $20,000 car, you pay for it. I'm not spending a dime. And Ford, who comes up to my shoulder, just took a casual step to the guy and he just goes, what's the matter? You can't pay for it? And then he just stood there like a G. It was like, because then I heard people go, oh, because if most people said that to you, it would be an insult. I'd be saying something about your financial situation, about how much money you make. But Ford, he thinks more linear than that. He's just listening. He's like, I've been listening. It sounds like you have a problem. It appears to be financial. Is my hypothesis correct? And it's like he doesn't mean to insult people, but it just comes off as cold shade. That should be a flavor of Mike's Hard Lemonade, just cold shade. With my son's face on the box like, you broke, dog? Yeah. My kids make me laugh. It's just weird. And, my daughter, 17, she's getting ready to go to college next year, straight A's all through high school. I thought there'd be more scholarships. Patrick is up here talking about sugar daddies. I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. College, any parent in here, we all know college is so expensive at this point. Like, we gonna definitely be the first generation of parents. We try and talk our kids out of going to college. I'm gonna be like, hey, I raised you to be an influencer. Even beautiful moments are just ruined because everything's so expensive. Like, I'm a big hoops fan, so, LeBron and his son played a basketball game together in the NBA. And it was like, somebody has two sons. It was like, I felt myself getting emotional. It's like, what a beautiful bonding moment. Your dad, who's a millionaire, is passing to his son, who's a millionaire. And now I started getting jealous. And I was like, wait a second, what am I going to leave my kids? I was like, well, in 6.5 years, me and my daughter's student loans are gonna overlap, so. Call that a little alley-oop from Dad. We on the Sally Mae family plan, baby. We in some trouble. It's so weird, like, trying to be a parent now, because, like, I don't know. When I was raised by my parents, I feel like they didn't care about how we came off to them. And I don't care how cool of a parent you try and be, like, we care. Like, I don't want my kids to see me get upset. So even, like, in situations where I should stand up, and, like, we were, my daughter wasn't with us, it was just me, my middle son, whose homework I can't do in Ford. And we went to this water park in California, and it was lunchtime. We're in a hotel, so I'm like, Elijah, what do you want for lunch? And he just goes, I don't know, let's do some Dairy Queen. I was like, for lunch? He's never mentioned Dairy Queen. We've never eaten at the Dairy Queen. But he wants Dairy Queen, and Dad doesn't want Dairy Queen. Because I was like, did we lose a Little League tournament or something? Because I thought that was the rule. Like, if you won the tournament, you got Dairy Queen ice cream. And if you lost, you had to eat there. But I'm like, all right, we're going to Dairy Queen because I can't stand up for myself. So I try to be passive aggressive because I can't be a real man like my dad and just say no. So I just go, yeah, Elijah, I looked it up. It's 21 minutes one way. He goes, yeah, I saw that. We should get going. I was like, shit. Nope. Get your rental car keys, puss dad, because you can't stand up for yourself. We're going to get the worst food in the county. Come on. So we get to this Dairy Queen, 21 minutes one way. And I just go, Jackson, 3 cheeseburger orders, 16-year-old girl behind the counter. And she's just like, oh, we don't have food at this location anymore. Now, I know. This was not happening at a comedy club. This was happening 21 minutes one way, and I can't be mad at a 16-year-old. I can't let my kids see me get frustrated. So I just go, but your website is sure that you have food. So much so that I put my credit card information in there, and she was like, oh, yeah, we should take that down. I was like, yeah, you should. And she was trying to be nice with her next gesture, but it's kind of like symptomatic of where we are in terms of like customer service and stuff. Like, she tried to do the right thing. She was like, you know what, I can make you guys, since you came all this way, I can make you 3 chili cheese dogs. And I was like, well, make it 2. I can't have a chili cheese dog at 2 in the afternoon. I'm 47. That will be the end of my day. And then Dad laid down. I can't. So she's trying to be nice, but it still didn't come off because, like, I want the show. You know what I'm saying? She just got the can and the can opener, and she opened it 1.5 inches from my face. There is a sound that coagulated beans make coming out of the can that's both disgusting and sexual. I'm looking at her like, hey, my kids are here, dirtbag. Can you go around the corner with that? No gloves? Thanks. It's $21. Okay, anyway. But I find the joy in things. I look for things I do love that are stuff I can make fun of. Like Girl Scout cookies, that makes me happy. They do. I love them. I didn't understand my relationship with Girl Scout cookies until I saw this documentary on heroin. I wish that was a joke. Because the guy that they were following around, he said something really interesting. He's like, yes, of course I'm addicted to the drug, but I'm also addicted to the ritual of doing it. And I was like, that's how I feel about Girl Scout cookies. I have a way, I have a modus operandi in which I eat them. I don't get my Girl Scout cookies and eat them in the car like an animal. Like, nah, doc. Here's how I eat my Girl Scout cookies. I wait till it's like 12:37 at night when everybody's asleep. We all got the same outfit on. T-shirt, underwear, no pants. Pants in the house is weird. Socks. Go to the kitchen. Don't turn the kitchen light on. That's a rookie move. It's kid stuff. You turn on the oven light. That low light, like when you were trying to have sex in college. Get that sleeve of Thin Mints that you put in there 6 hours earlier like an adult. You're gonna finish those cookies. They're not going back in. You finish what you start. Get that sleeve, you lean your butt cheeks up against the cold counter. And you're just like, that feels nice. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your whole adult life right there. Just a chance to just like have a thought. No one's texting you about work. Your kids aren't asking you questions. That's your whole life. Just those few moments. And you get a chance to have a random thought that you would never otherwise have. And I was like leaning against the counter, just having a random thought, just enjoying it. I was chewing my Thin Mints and I just stopped chewing. I was like, hold up. Where is all the Girl Scout cookie money? You ever thought about that? Where is all the Girl Scout cookie money? You want to talk about this business model? They don't pay their employees. They don't pay taxes. They don't advertise. They have no commercial real estate space. Where is all the Girl Scout cookie money? Their employees are allowed to break the law. Girl Scouts trespass like no other. Girl Scouts are allowed to sell food in front of places that sell food. That is, I'll tell you what, tonight after the show, go home and package up some sandwiches at your crib and try and sell them in front of the Hy-Vee tomorrow. And you let me know when I need to bail you out. You can't do that. Girl Scouts can. And then it hit me, I was like, am I the only one that's seen season 3 of The Wire? It's the drug game. You get your product from a large distributor, you break it down, you give it to your runners, AKA the Girl Scouts, they give it to their runners, AKA their parents. Have you ever met anybody that worked for Girl Scouts? I sure haven't. Have you ever met a Girl Scout that wasn't trying to sell you something? I sure haven't. Has a Girl Scout ever helped you? I will stop doing the joke. I just need one person to stand up right now and be like, hey, I gotta stop you right there, buddy. 3 weeks ago, stepped out from behind the back of this bar to smoke a cig. 3 guys came out of nowhere, tried to take my watch and my wallet, but luckily, 4 Girl Scouts came out of nowhere. They had just got their Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu badge. That's why your boy's here. I continue to just live my life. It's hard. I have serious things happen to me, but I I don't allow them to be too serious. Like even when something bad happens, like I just realize eventually it'd be fun. Like right after the COVID bans lifted, one of my first trips on the road, I did a show in Chicago. I live in Denver now. Flew back to the Denver airport and I found out that my car had been stolen from the airport. Yeah, I know. Yeah, really, because there's two lots at the airport. There's like the field that you can park in if you're gonna be gone for a while. And then there's that lot that's close to the airport, but it's so expensive you gotta do math on your fingers to see if you can afford to stay. You're like 4 days, $32, all right. I was only gonna be gone 2 days, so I parked in the expensive lot, came back, and I don't know if it's just inherently with black folks, but like I believe in institutions, so I'm believing the airport. I'm blaming myself. I haven't had drinks since 2019, but I'm like, Al, you must have blacked out this weekend. I don't know. You are so dumb. How'd you lose your car? You are so at the airport. And I'm walking around for hours, sweating, got a bag with me. I walked around for so long. This super country white dude in a Ford F-250, the one that's got the 2 tires on the outside. Homeboy swings around, swings open his passenger door, and he's like, you look like you're in some trouble. Get in. And I did. I was just so happy to be off of my feet. Like at that point, I was waiting for him to get on the phone like, yeah, boys, I got him. Yeah. No, he's not fighting. He said, thank you. And it's why the situation of me in this guy's truck, it reminded me like why we tend to like struggle with conversation in this country, because we use words like diversity and like, but I think most people's mind, it diverts to like, we look different from you. But I think, yeah, that's important, but also you need diverse ways of thinking. And this white dude thought totally different from me, because me, I believe in institution. I'm like, the airport ain't at fault. This is Al's problem. White dude, he ain't with it. He's like, I don't trust this, And I just ask him, I go, yeah, man, I can't find my car. And he goes, oh, that's gone, buddy. That was a direct quote from him, like a direct quote. And it was like the first time that crossed my mind, I was like, what should I do? And he was like, call the police. And I was like, that has never crossed my mind. Like, I am 47. I've never been like, yo, you know what we should do? Call the cops. Like, we handle things in-house. So this went on for so long. I didn't know the Metro Police, they have hours like anybody else. So I called and reported my car stolen, but just went to a voicemail. Sergeant calls me next day. He must have been a week from vacation because he was over it. Because this is my baby. This is my all-black Dodge Challenger. I love this car. This is my baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Sarge, they stole my car from the airport last night. Can you believe it? And he just goes, yeah, that'll happen. I've been watching Law & Order for 30 years. This is a terrible episode. Like, because I thought that there would be like 4 cops on my case, you know what I'm saying? 2 got sexual tension, none. So I'm like, what should I do? And he's just like, wait your 2 weeks and get your money from your insurance. I'm like, thank you. That's the same advice my mom just gave me, but I thought that she would have something else. I'm just defeated. I realize I don't like this episode, but it's going down. And the Friday before I get my money on the Saturday, Sergeant calls me. He goes, I never do this, but I want to call you personally and let you know that we found your car and we arrested the guys that stole it. And I was like, how did that happen? You said they were going to chop it up. And he said, normally they do. But we caught these guys drag racing on I-70. Yeah. And I wish I was a more evolved man, but there was a small part of me that was like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, did she win? You know what I'm saying? Like, my car ain't going out like no rolling restroom downtown, dog. Yeah, we bravehearting this. So, I thought there was gonna be like all this paperwork, none. He's just like, you just go to the stolen car lot. And when you get your car stolen, it's a big deal to you. But like, when you go pick your car up, you realize there's so many stolen cars, at least in Denver, that when you get to the stolen car lot, they pick you up in another car to go through this random maze of cars. So I'm in the car with this random lot lady, and we pull up, and she goes, there's your car. And I'm like, that's not my car. And she's like, we double-checked the VIN, that's your car. And she was right. It was my car. And the reason I didn't realize it was my car is because whoever took it must have been a car guy, because they took my car and they hooked that bitch up. My car looked so cool, I can't even be mad. Because I had like what I thought was a classic black muscle car. I love my car, but they took it and they had one of those big red racing stripes that went from the front over the roof to the back. They took my dual exhaust, cut that 45 degrees so it handled real dope. And at first I was like, this worked out kind of good, but then I thought about it more. I was like, no, this is also rather insulting. You know, because God forbid somebody tried to break in your house while you're here at the show and you just got home and they just left a note like, yeah, we were going to steal your TV, but instead we just painted an accent wall here for you. We were going to take your table, but instead we left a rug to draw you out of the door. How are you living like this, you know? So the car is untouched. She just gave me the keys. So I get in the car and there's 12-pack of beer that the guys had still on the floor of the passenger seat. Huge hunting knife next to it. I'm like looking, I'm like trying to see us out there at night. I'm like, why didn't he slide that knife under the seat when it got pulled over? And I realized he must have been distracted by the 2 gigantic meth pipes in the cup holder and with meth in them. And I'm a black dude, I don't have a lot of experience with meth, but I got the stomach flu and I knocked out Breaking Bad in 4 days. These were pristine, they were good ones. They were like, if there was a museum, they would have been in the gift shop. Like these are... And so I look at her, I see her look at the meth pipes, and you just see her doing a little math, and she's like, let's check the trunk. And I was like, let's do that. We're both doing a little dead body math right now. Me and this random lot woman pop my trunk, and we are both looking at $5,100 worth of stolen tools. And she was like, I'm so embarrassed the boys didn't get to your car. I'll get them to clean this out. And I was just like, my tools! It just came out of, do I look like I use tools? It just came, I was like, my tools. And I don't even feel like it's stealing because this is what I tell my kids. When life gives you lemons, yeah, you make Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Guys, I've been Al Jackson. Thank y'all so much.